In today's short video, I'm going to talk a little bit about budgeting and forecasting from an Azure perspective and why it's important. My name's Carl O'Doherty. I'm a principal Microsoft licensing consultant here at the Version 1 Software Asset Management practice. So I think many of us will agree that prior to the emergence of cloud computing, predicting IT expenses typically revolved around a yearly budgeting cycle that entailed developing business justifications for capital investments with a certain level of coordination across various different business units or departments. As organizations transition to cloud-based solutions, the need for more precise forecasting methods has become more apparent. Forecasting cloud expenses now requires heightened collaboration across departments and improved communication between those different business units so that your budgets and business goals are in sync with each other. It's also become, apparent that variable cost structures have become standard practice in the cloud, and therefore errors in forecasting can lead to unforeseen expenditure and substantial financial repercussions in some cases when that's expenditure is unforeseen and comes as a large surprise with a large price tag attached to it. So the type of forecasting model that you choose will really depend on the scale and complexity of your organization's cloud consumption. For example, a composite forecasting model will enhance prediction accuracy by combining multiple forecasts from different models and averaging the results. If your organization is somewhat static in nature and its cloud spend has been somewhat stable or static and predictable, then a static forecast is going to be ideal for your organization. This is created typically at the beginning of a set period, like every 12 months, and remains unchanged throughout. The only issues with this type of model is that it might not suit certain business environments that are more dynamic in nature. So what's the alternative? Well, then rolling forecasts, a little bit like a static forecast, but includes more regular updates at set intervals. Rolling forecasts are, as you can guess, better suited to organizations that are more dynamic in their consumption and spend of Microsoft Azure. It's best suited, I would say, as well for organizations that are really seeking to improve upon their financial planning, cost control processes, and decision-making capabilities. But I think whatever forecasting model you choose, it's important that you follow an established forecasting model so that you prevent your organization from falling into the trap of wish casting, which, as you can guess, leads to more than likely a high degree of unexpected expenditure and unnecessary costs, as well as potentially missed cost savings. Microsoft, to be fair, have introduced over time a range of various different tools for end users and organizations to assist with pre-deployment planning as well as forecasting future demand within their organization for Azure. So I'm going to quickly run through some of those tools as a quick refresher. So the Azure pricing calculator is designed to estimate Azure costs before deployment. So how much is it going to cost? You can plug all those numbers into the Azure calculator, and it'll give you an indicative view of what the potential spend is going to be based on the price that you obtain from Microsoft. The Azure TCO calculator is probably best fit more for those who are currently on-premise and are looking to compare the cost of on-premise solutions against Azure alternatives. The next tool is a really important one, is the Azure, or should I say the Microsoft Cost Management Service, which was formerly known as Azure Cost Management. This is the free service that enables organizations to budget, forecast, track, alert, and optimize Azure spending. So a really great tool that's in the Azure portal at your disposal. Invoices seems like a pretty simple one. They're issued every month, but within the portal, there's a repository of legacy invoices that organizations can use to analyze, to understand, previous spending patterns, peaks and troughs, that can potentially feed into the forecasting process to enable a higher degree of accuracy. Azure usage reports. So if you're looking to really get down into the weeds associated with your Azure consumption and look at the costs associated with each resource, Azure usage reports are hugely powerful. There's quite a lot of detail in here, so you may want to develop your own custom tooling to help extrapolate information in a meaningful way, or utilize other third-party tools to help you get more from that information. The subscriptions view in the Azure portal as well is a free tool. What I like about this one is that it showcases charts depicting monthly spending rates. Can be quite useful to identify quite quickly unexpected usage patterns against forecasts and budgets, which can allow organizations to take corrective action before that risk or those unexpected expenditure is allowed to fester over a period of time. So I think, to conclude, without a clear understanding of past spending patterns and future requirements, organizations are really at risk of overspending on cloud services. Forecasting cloud expenses is crucial for organizations aiming for financial efficiency and cost management. And adopting more accurate forecasting techniques and selecting suitable forecasting models will allow your organization to take control and optimize its Azure spend now and into the future. If you have any questions off the back of today's video, feel free to reach out to us here at the Version 1 Software Asset Management Practice. We'd be delighted to field any licensing and cost optimization queries that you might have on all things Microsoft or on any other software vendors for that matter.